Okay, people, welcome back to Global Happenings. Today, we're so excited to have you again. We brought the news to you a few minutes ago about the ongoing trial of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and one of the details was that the federal government had brought up fresh charges, about six of them, against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, where it was also concluded that Ifeanyi Ejiofor and another lawyer who is part of the legal team of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu were considered to be accomplices, to the defendant being Nnamdi Kanu. But right down, I'll call it a good news because those six amended charges against Mandi Kanu has been given consideration and they are no more. That's just the truth. We are going to be looking at why they decided, to put aside or withdraw those fresh charges that was put up against Mazin Nnamdi Kanu. But before we give you full details of the news, we'd like to encourage you to please subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button and also the bell icon so that you can get notification anytime we publish our videos. Now, according to the news, Justice Binta Nyako of the Federal High Court Abuja on Wednesday struck out a six-count amended charges brought against the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The judge threw away the fresh charges following its withdrawal by counsel to the federal government, Adamu Kauti. Citing the need for the government to open the trial of Kanu after years of delay, Katu opted to withdraw the new charges when it was discovered the trial cannot be opened when an amended charge is pending. Apparently, desperate or despite that witnesses be called to give evidence against Kanu, the government lawyer hurriedly applied for the withdrawal, which was not opposed by Mike Ezeume, senior advocate of Nigeria, standing for the defendants. Justice Nyako, in a brief ruling, struck out the amended charge to pave way for the federal government to open its case against Kanu. It has earlier been reported that the government, a few hours to the hearing of Kanu's bail application, amended the treasonable felony charges against the IPOB leader. This had been made known by Aloy Jimakor, Kanu's special counsel, in an interview, saying the seven-count charges was amended. The federal government just amended the charges against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu now. The removed one, it was seven, but the removed one and now it's six. We are in court waiting for the judge's arrival, and Kanu himself is yet to arrive, Jimakor had said. But in a recent development, the government has now withdrawn the six-count charges and had continued with the initial seven-count charge filed against the defendants. The IPOB leader is facing charge of treasonable felony, terrorism, and illegal possession of firearms, amongst others. Excuse me. So that's just the situation right now. Those charges has been withdrawn. Now, those charges were actually amended charges. It was out of the 5 or 7 charges that were left. It was 15 charges. So, um, 8 were taken off, okay, because they call it was like duplication and all of that. So 7 was now on ground. But the federal government had to take out one and now started working. They amended it and push it again to the justice. And you know that whenever charges are amended, it must be given to the defendant legal team for them to go through it and make their complaints and all of that. And that will have to be slated for another day our appearance in court. And I feel that at this point, they just believe that that is one delay they're going to have. So they have decided to, the lawyer representing the federal government has decided to withdraw all the amended charges. In other words, the old one, which the court has already concluded that those are the 7 charges against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, those ones are going to remain, which means they are going to kickstart, the process or the case. They're going to kickstart bringing in weaknesses and all of that against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. But for now, I think the case has been brought to an end because we're now looking at 26. It has been shifted to 26th day of May 2022. So few days from now, call it the next. Today is 18, so we're looking at the next 6 days. No, the next 8 days. Another Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will have to feature again in the court. Now, one of the things that all of his supporters are earnestly desiring is to see him being released unconditionally. But from the way things are going, it seems such possibility will not be there because the federal government seems to be in a haste, to start the case seriously. And, already there are count charges of terrorism, count charges of treasonable felony, and the like. So I think it's going to be a time where they will bring up weaknesses, not just weaknesses. They're going to bring up people or evidence and all of that, exhibits and all of that. So it's going to be a tough week for the legal team because they have to prepare superbly for that particular next sitting, in court. It's going to be quite a time of interaction where a lot of things will come up and all of that. Thank God that the team that is there for him are, that they have the capacity to face it. The likes of Ezehome and the rest. Don't forget, Ezehome has won so many cases. This year has been one of the best legal year. That's from my perspective for him, because we already know long list of cases that he has been able to win without any struggle. We heard about that one of case of removal of governor of Cross River State, which he came out strong and won the case. And several other cases which he has won. It was also the same person who was able to reduce the 15 count charges or allegation against Mazi Nnamdi can reduce it, to 7. So you now see that he has the capacity to really stand up strong for the IPOP leader. Everyone is just waiting to see when this case will kickstart, though there are underground workings, according to what we've heard, for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, though the president himself said he doesn't want to interfere with what is going on in the court. But the elders still believe that they can do something drastic to correct the impression, at least for him to be granted, release, for him to be released unconditionally. But let's just look at one or two statement or comment people are making. This one here say they will be tired of these unnecessary charges. Today they will amend this one, tomorrow they will amend another one. It's a pointer to the fact that the man, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, is not guilty of anything. We are waiting for them to release him unconditionally. Another person here says, I think the evidence are piling up so strong. That's why the federal government had to withdraw the charges, amended charges against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. His team better get ready because they will fire them with reasonable evidence that they won't be able to stand against. This one here says, I love Mike Exehome when they brought up the case of him staying outside the country to speak against the government and incite violence. The way the man tackled it was quite superb. He told him that the current court lacked the jurisdiction to handle issues that relate to global cases, because if he is staying outside the country, it therefore means it has gone past the shores of the country. I celebrate you, Mike Ezehome. He's a senior advocate of Nigeria, so he has a lot of capacity. We'd like to leave it there. Go to our comments.